So looking again round the other side of tree 104, when we look up into the canopy, we can see evidence of some of the cuts we've made. They're kind of difficult to see right now, but we had a lot of long extended limbs in that upper canopy, and that's almost 100 feet up. Now bear in mind, last summer some of those branches did fall and they almost took out this play structure. Okay. To me, that exceeds the threshold of safety for this tree, so that's why we selected this tree for quite a heavy prune to reduce the limbs on those long heavy limbs that we know can fall without any warning. So behind me you have an example of one of the other valley oaks that we assessed, and we did work on this tree. Taking a look up the trunk, you can see where it forks, and then the right hand fork, there's nothing left. Okay, so that tree last summer spontaneously just cracked in half. The entire top of that half tree fell right between the cheese and those picnic benches. Again, on a hot summer day, it was packed with park users, the air was calm, no warning, spontaneously broke out. And here we have behind us a group of the California sycamores that are in Caper Acres. And if we follow this tree up about halfway, you can see there's quite a big cut has been made. Now that limb grew out right across the play structures. You see the swings over here, over the play area, the Humpty Dumpty sand pit. That tree did shed a large limb in the summer of 2018 and left a giant wound in that trunk. Now if that trunk was left unattended, that limb would have fallen eventually. So we had to take the bold decision to make quite a big cut on that limb. As you can see, that's a bigger cut. We don't normally want to make a cut that big, but because of the safety reasons of the park, we really had no choice. Here we have the remaining stump from one of the trees that I decided to remove. This tree really wasn't viable. It was suppressed by the bigger California sycamore that it's growing less than 3 feet away from. And as we suspected, it was totally hollow. Okay, so we have it full of shavings right now, but when you look in here you can see it's starting to hollow out, which isn't always mean the end of the tree, but it's one of the deciding factors. That now that this has a cavity inside, that's not good, but it also had a cavity at the top, so it had a cavity running all the way through the tree. That's not a good thing. With it being so close to this tree, it really wasn't contributing much to the park, wasn't providing any shade, because this tree was doing all of that work. So we decided to remove this tree. We haven't stump ground this tree because its roots are intertwined with this tree. So we've decided just to leave it. Kids can sit on it, play in the wood shavings, get their hands dirty. It's all good. Here we have the former location of one of the large California sycamores that was growing in the park. This tree was hollow, growing right next to the birthday ring. The thing that I really didn't like about this tree was that it was leaning pretty severely over towards the focal areas where people like to hang out. Parents converge while they're watching their little ones play on the play structures. This tree was not in a good shape. From the outside it looked healthy to a lot of people, but as I examined it and I sound them with a hammer to see how hollow they are, this tree was hollow. Okay, so this tree unfortunately had to go as well. So it's one of the 4 trees out of the 27 that's growing in the park that we decided to remove.